That's so terrible, but that's so right. God, this is the only way to react to that. I see a baby. Never mind.
Never mind. That's the way you got wrapped on.
That's how you got to. Any other response is wrong. Welcome to Dare to Disagree, your weekly
Wow.
podcast with all of us know-it-alls. I'll be your
Hey.
host, Jonathan Esther.
This is Low of the Dark, Tennessee.
No, ma'am.
I'm moving to Colorado now. Shit. Let me go back. Okay. My bad.
Cold conscious Maryland.
Mic check. Can you hear me?
Gotcha.
Yes.
Slow chemical. By the time you get the intro fucking right, you idiot.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. And welcome to another friendly weekly episodic podcast. Now, this week we did something unprecedented that's going to be much more common. We actually talked. Jesus, look at that beard. We actually talked about our topics before the topic came up. So we actually have a plan for y'all tonight on this show. But I'm going to shoot it to Alone in the Dark to start off first because he has an interesting quirk.
Now I wanna start off with a quick, hopefully something we get out of the way real quick. Okay. Now I don't think anybody here but me has heard of this is going on, and hearing it kind of leads you to gives you a reason to kind of go with the crowd on this shit. Okay. Everybody know who Chris Kyle is?
No.
He's that legendary fucking Marine Corps, that legendary fucking sniper. He's like supposed to be one of the most deadly snipers in fucking modern time, if not at all fucking time. Like, where he big came up, where everybody should have heard his name, which is kind of sad considering. Remember when Whitney Houston died?
Yes.
Well, when Whitney Houston died, this motherfucker died close to the same time. Okay. He got shot, like he came back a fucking hero from the Iraq War. Came back and got shot in a motherfucking shooting range. Like just some fucking random shooter killed him, right? It was actually kind of, there's some conspiracy theories out about that shit. But anyways, this guy was a freaking Navy SEAL sniper. He wrote a book. I can't remember what the name of the book was. And in that book, he said that he got an altercation with some fucking Hollywood celebrity type, right? Now, what happened is he was out at some bar, him being, a famous guy because of what he did, this other fucking celebrity type being there. He says that he got an argument with that celebrity type, and that guy said the Navy SEALs deserve to lose a few because of the fucking atrocities they committed out in fucking Iraq and shit like that. So Chris Kyle punched him in his fucking mouth in the fucking club, right? Knocked him down, this and that. Now, in his book, if I remember right, he didn't name who it was. He left it anonymous, but later on, he came out with the name of who that guy was, and it was Jesse Ventura. Okay? Now, immediately when that story came out, when Jesse got named, Jesse denied it, saying not only did he never say any shit like that, but he also they never even got in a fight. Like, the whole fucking story is made up from the get-go. So, what happened, and what's pissed everybody off, is Jesse Ventura just won his defamation lawsuit, I think for like $1.8 million, saying that Chris Kyle fucking defamed him, which is, he said an outright lie purposely to damage this guy, right? And people are fucking pissed everywhere. They're talking about, Jesse, you go after a fucking widow and a fucking dude's son and shit like that after this motherfucker's dead? Like, how terrible are you going after a fucking hero's widow and shit like that? And when you look at it from that side, especially Jesse Ventura being Jesse Ventura versus a fucking war hero, one of the most heroic guys we've had in a long time, a fucking Navy SEAL, you could kind of see these people's points. And Jesse Ventura is kind of a fucking scumbag in a lot of different reasons. So, looking at these two side by side, you can kind of get where people are coming from. The issue that people don't understand is just trust that guy while he was still alive. This shit just took years to get through court. He also told that guy, hey, get on TV and take it back, and I'll drop this fucking lawsuit. I just want you to fucking get on TV, say that this never happened, and I never said what you're saying I did, and then we're all good from there. Now, Chris Kyle still said this happened, fucking blah, blah, blah. Nobody really knows the details of it, okay, which I can understand. My issue is that it is very fucking hard to prove that somebody defamed you. I mean, you got to prove not only that the allegations were false, you have to prove that they willfully were doing it to damage you. You know, it wasn't just a mistake. Like if somebody says, I think Obama's destroying the country, you can't really come out and say, no, you know, that you're wrong, I'm suing you for defamation. Because they've got to be able to prove, number one, that it's wrong, prove you were purposely knowing it's a lie and just trying to damage this person, and then prove monetary damages. You actually lost something in this. So defamation is one of those things that are a fucking bitch to prove even on the best of cases. And somehow Jesse Ventura won. So that kind of leads me to believe that maybe he won for good fucking reason. And the other issue is even if Jesse Ventura is a fucking scumbag, if somebody came out and said about me, said, oh yeah, Alan was talking about those fucking soldiers should be dying out there, you're goddamn right I'm going to take you to fucking court. I'm going to freaking try and disprove that I said something that's unpatriotic of that. Especially Jesse Ventura, who was in the Navy, and he wasn't a SEAL, I don't think, but he was, you know, one of an infantry guy. I think he was a frogman or something like that. You know, which is still kind of a pretty serious fucking position. You know, not as high up there as a Navy SEAL, but it's still pretty serious, you know. So I can see how people can get pissed just seeing these two compared to each other. But in the end, if this guy did lie, which it kind of really makes it seem that he did if he lost that freaking court case, I totally understand why Jesse Ventura continued with the case. He was just trying to prove, yeah, you were wrong, you lied about me, and it did damage me. So that's my problem, man. I'm gonna get my ass kicked by some special forces guys, you know, who are fucking buddies of this guy, which I understand. But if the same shit happened to them, if somebody came out and said Chris Kyle says that, yeah, some of my fucking Navy SEALs buddies should have died because they were doing wrong out there in Iraq, I'm pretty sure Chris Kyle would come back and fucking fight that shit too.
Here's, based on the story you said, man, if I was Jesse Ventura, you know what I would do? I would release a statement, like an official statement on YouTube, where I'm on the podium and everything, fake cameras flashing and the whole shebang, and I would go, yes, I sued his widow and his kids, and I'm letting you know, if I can do that to the widow and the kid of a hero, let one of the live motherfuckers come to me and say I'm unpatriotic. See what the fuck happens. And then literally knock the podium over and walk off.
That's terrible. Now, he didn't.
I mean, that would be the best way. Like, I mean, what's he going to do now? Go, no, guys, this has been in the courts for a long time. I'm going to give her money back. Nah, fuck that. I'd give her money in private without telling anybody I did it and just keep going, yeah, you fucking right. I'm a former Navy guy, and you tell me I ain't patriotic, I'm going to do the same shit to your ass. Not only will I do that, but then I'll kick your ass so that you can get your money back in the counter lawsuit.
Yeah, he didn't sue the wife either. He sued Chris Kyle's estate. You know, he made a whole bunch of money off that fucking book. I want to say people were saying up to like $6 million or some shit like that.
Damn.
Yeah, he sued that estate for his $1.8 million. So, I mean, if I was him, if I wanted to do the right thing and not piss off all my fucking ex-Navy guys and that, what I would do is come on, hey, yeah, this is what I wanted to prove. I did not fucking do this. He lied to me. He freaking damaged my reputation, especially among his own fucking Navy guys. You know, like a lot of his Navy guys, he was talking about it, and the people who were defending Chris Kyle was admitting, yeah, fuck that guy. Nobody in the fucking UP is gonna fucking talk to this guy anymore. But I would take that $1.8 million and give it to like the fucking veterans or the widows and fucking children's association. Yeah, I didn't want the money. It was never about the money. I'm paying off my lawyer. and then this money's all going to freaking charity. I don't know if Jesse Ventura's finances can handle that, but if I was rich and I got that drop, I'd fucking do it.
Fuck that. $500,000 worth of flowers for Chris whatever his name's grave, and then my podium speech.
Damn.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna come out the other end of something like that, and even after you've defended yourself and won the case, like in legal terms, saying, "Hey, this guy lied and put me in a bad spot," and people are still willing to go, "Well, you're attacking his innocent widow." You know what I'd do at that point? I go like, "Alright, there's no saving you, motherfuckers. Double down." I'd straight up Romney that bitch. Just let them eat cake all day.
Let them eat cake. I love that saying.
And you know what I really feel bad about is if Jesse Ventura was 100% innocent and for some reason this guy just decided to name him like that, that is a pretty fucking shitty position to be in. Because either you're going to have to let that go and let everybody think that you said that fucking some Navy SEAL should die out there, or you got to go freaking attack it and then he dies and then you're the guy suing some fucking Navy SEALs and they hate you anyways. Like that's a pretty shitty position to be stuck in if this guy was in it. I don't know if he was 100% innocent. I do kind of think it's really out of character for Jesse Ventura to suddenly say that some servicemen should die. You know, he's been outspoken against government policies, against the military policies, but for the actual servicemen, he's always been pretty on their side, you know? So it really doesn't, just looking at him, yeah, he's a scumbag, but I've never seen him come out and say before anywhere else, servicemen should die for America. It's
not never. If anything, he's always stood for patriotism and for the whole thing. I mean, way back when, what was he, Sergeant Slaughter?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always been military oriented. So to say that that's what happened, first off, I don't know if I would even call Jesse Ventura a Hollywood type, to be quite honest. I don't know if he qualifies. Don't get me wrong, he's all up in the guts of Hollywood, but I don't know if he qualifies as a Hollywood type. Then again, I've never met the guy, so for all I know, you know, this whole like down to earth, rough, tough sergeant persona is like he's super into like all his silverware being available when he's eating, and you know, I don't know. He might be a classy guy.
Who knows? That was my whole bitch about that shit. You know? Because I think a lot of people are taking it as, look at just somebody else suing like that lady who spilled freaking hot coffee on her pussy. She was just looking to get away with shit. Even though if you really look at that story, that bitch.
Where was that at?
Oh, you never knew about this? Oh man, that shit was legit. And I remember looking into it, and that coffee like legitimately burnt the shit out of that broad. Like 3rd-degree burns from her coffee type burns. Like there's no way you were drinking that in your mouth type burns.
I guess you could say her pussy was hot.
Stop! Ah, damn it! I was on mute. I couldn't stop you. Oh, damn it. Move on. Nope. Skip this topic.
The picture of that girl, like they surprised me with it. Like, yeah, see, she was burned. I don't know what I was expecting when I clicked that link, but it was a picture of what the fuck happened to that girl, which I don't want to see 60-year-old pussy on my freaking screen, anyways. Little on burn, but that bitch was fucked up, man.
Yeah.
Like, it was bad.
Skin grafts were required.
Yeah. Oh man, it was
like a lot of people do that shit. Now, there are people that have gotten away with stupidity, like the thief that fell through the roof of the house he was trying to rob, and ended up suing it. But didn't that end up being a myth or something?
I think so.
I remember looking it up, and I'm pretty sure someone was like, "Nah, man, that whole story's made up."
Shit, I don't know.
That's that crazy shit, man.
Yes, the thief fall through ceiling and sues. Let's see.
Oh, he fell through the ceiling and sued.
He said,
"How nasty is that guy?"
Oh man. Hold on, let's see.
Sorry.
Huffington Post, because the Huffington Post has never lied, right?
That sounds like something Kanye West will fucking do. I fell through your roof, so you owe me money.
This is an ATM.
Hey, alone in the dark.
Hey, that invite to Andrew?
Yeah, I tried. I've been texting him. He hasn't responded.
Well,
Can y'all hear me?
He just asked us for the
Send
invite.
Yeah, he just sent a Facebook message.
I don't see a.
Anybody, you know. Good lord.
But anyways. Oh, no, we got two slow Kennedys. It's terrible.
Hear me?
Here we go. Yeah, we can hear you.
Hey, Al, hey, Alone in the Dark. I mean, yeah, I got something to say to you about that. You know, the one thing about Jesse Ventura is interesting is it has nothing to do with, in my opinion, as I already knew about this story when it happened. The thing with Jesse Ventura is, it's not even about him being ashamed he got punched in the mouth or whatever. It's more about he knows he's a brand. And the one thing he's always done well, even in the 80s with Vince McMahon, is protect his brand. He knows how much he's worth, and like people still pay for him to go to these conventions and stuff, and he still has a pretty high price tag. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, I remember in the early 90s, when I was really young, I remember he sued Vince McMahon, and he was the only person to ever successfully, ex-wrestler at least, successfully sue Vince McMahon for royalties, for, like, his voice use and stuff like that. Like, Vince used to take his voice off of commentary and, like, change him with, like, Gorilla Monsoon and these other wrestlers. But the courts wound up giving him, like, $1 million off that. Like, he is I put him up there with, like, Oprah and Jay-Z and 50 Cent as far as knowing what he's worth and knowing what he's going to get. Like, a number like $1.8 million is so random, but I'm pretty sure it's a number he wanted because he knew he can get that number. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you.
So, like, he's always been a very smart and intelligent businessman, especially when it comes to what he's worth and what he knows can damage his character or damage anybody that's affiliated with him. Like, he's always been like that, and he's always been able to get his money. So I'm not surprised at all. And if he's a dirtbag for that, then maybe you shouldn't open your mouth and say certain things in your tell-all book. But that one bitch, she could be sued now if somebody really thought she was worth any money. The Superhead bitch, she could be sued because she came out.
Corinne Stephens.
Everybody. But my thing is, she wrecked so many different lives and marriages that if she actually had some money right now, I'm pretty sure somebody would sue her.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's fucking terrible. I mean, there's not very many ways to fuck up a person's reputation more than saying they don't support the troops, you know? That's what politicians bat back and forth all the fucking time. Like, he didn't support the troops here, he didn't do it here. I mean, that's just a very easy way to fucking wreck someone's reputation. And if he was lied about, I would do the same fucking thing. You know, if that was 100% bullshit, which I have a hard time believing it's not, considering he won. You know, I mean, all the freaking defense had to do was put in doubt. Hey, we don't know what was said. You know, these two talked, one of them got in a fight, that's it. But you can't prove us wrong. They had to prove them actually wrong to get away with that shit.
Right.
Now that brings up a quick side question, which I'm starting to think we might not actually get to the topic we wanted to get to. So I'm gonna ask this.
Oh goddamn, you gonna get to it?
Do you have to support the troops?
No.
Nope.
See, I mean, I've always been in a weird position with that conversation because as a former military man myself, my automatic response wants to be hell yeah. You know, these are people going out there. But again, on the flip side, as me and Alone in the Dark can testify, we've met the troops. we've met a lot of these troops, and they're not all people. Like, I keep forgetting which comedian he said. I think, yeah, Doug Stanhope. The comedian Doug Stanhope made a perfect joke. He said, I support the troops, all except the one troop I met in Akron, Alaska. Fuck that guy. He was a douchebag. And that was a very good way to make a point I've had a question about for a long time. Like, okay, let's say, okay, here's a perfect example. Now, all the people that were against us going to 9/11. God damn it. There's ludicrousness going on back there. I'm trying to shadow it, but it's not working. But anyway, so he was like, anybody, God damn it, you're killing me. Anybody who was against 9/11 back when it was going down was technically right. They were right about it. But back then, the Republican candidates and the whole Republican Party just labeled all those people unpatriotic. And anything they tried to do just got labeled unpatriotic. Because it was just like, you're not supporting our troops, you're unpatriotic. By the way, something which I found is hilarious is that whole shit is flipped. It used to be you're unpatriotic if you don't support the president back in the Bush days. And now, if you don't challenge the president, you're not a patriot. Which I think is hilarious, and I'm surprised nobody has brought up. Because I watched that and I was like, nobody's going to say that? That's fucking hilarious that they do that.
I remember seeing people say that specifically, like, it doesn't matter if you like the guy or not. It's during a time of war. You got to support our commander-in-chief. That shit stopped right in fucking 2008, man. That shit was over then.
Yeah, and the funniest part about it is I've seen nobody bring it up, which I always thought was hilarious. I was like, wait, I thought if in a time of war we support our commander-in-chief, what happened to all that shit? Those exact same people are literally saying, I mean, the Republicans between 2008 to 2000, I'll say 10, came as close to causing national mutiny as you can get. In fact, that's where the Tea Party comes from, is them pushing that fucking line so far and then having to back off. Because up until then, it was just talk. We can just talk and get our point across and get the votes we want. But then once they realized, oh, no, you can't just talk, we want actions, a lot of those Republicans backed off. And then you got the Bachmans, you got the Palins. These are crazy motherfuckers with crazy point of... Like, the next time you see Michelle Bachmann with a black man and he's not serving her something... You let me know, because I've never seen it. You know what I mean? And I'm not calling her a racist or anything. I'm just saying she clicked up with her people, is all I'm saying. But the point I'm trying to get is, what is you guys' opinion on is not supporting the troops automatically being unpatriotic?
No. Good Lord. No, I don't believe it's unpatriotic, but, you know, do you have to support the troops? No, but it's not unpatriotic in my mind. You do have a lot of people, I'm not going to say a lot of people who don't support, you have to have a decent amount of people who don't support the troops, you know. But I don't know, that's a hard question, you know, to really go off of. I'm not really 100% sure.
I don't know if I'd say you have to support the troops, okay? And I don't really like it when somebody comes out, like if two people are arguing, one happens to be a veteran, somehow that veteran's opinion is more important. The fuck it is, okay? Like, even on shit like the Iraq War, you would be amazed how little insight we have about the Iraq War, even though we went to Iraq. Like, being there and doing that shit doesn't really give you insight into the politics and shit like that about what's going on. I mean, Terminal Lance, that dude makes those comments. He wrote a good fucking thing. People asking, so what do you think about the Iraq War? Do you think... Man, I don't fucking know. I know they got fucking mules and sheep and goats and shit like that out there. I can tell you that. But I don't know what the fuck's going on with this politics. But I don't think you really have to support the troops to be a patriot. I do think you have a level of responsibility because those troops going to Iraq were sent by politicians that the U.S. citizens voted in place. Even if you didn't vote for Bush, you didn't vote hard enough the wrong fucking way to get your person elected. So them going to Iraq, them getting shot to shit, them getting PTSD, that is your fucking responsibility. You need to own up to that shit. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people just want to take their hands off of that. Like, fuck, man, I didn't send them. Well, you guys not controlling your fucking government is what did send them. You guys not keeping a good handle on electing good people, just electing whoever fucking talks shit to you the most. That's who you fucking elect, and it causes terrible fucking foreign policy, which gets these people out there and gets shot. You know, your average military person is pretty fucking young, okay? I've had this argument before. I went on a Facebook group page that was all about fucking veterans aren't heroes, they are tools of war, or some shit like that, right? And whoever was running that page hated it. I don't know, some Marine fucked his girlfriend or something like that. They hated military. I was talking to the people on there, and you know, people are saying, they're doing this stuff. I'm like, here's what I want you guys to think about, okay? Because they're talking about the Iraq War was nothing. That didn't do anything for us. They're not protecting us, blah, blah. Like, you got these 18, 19, 20-year-old kids joining up the military and getting sent wherever they're fucking told to. Can you really stand? I mean, what do you think's in their minds? These 18, 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds, they believe they're going to protect their country. Whether that's true or not isn't part of the story here. That's what they fucking believe. And you guys are talking shit to them about them being tricked by a multi-trillion-dollar entity that's the United States government. That's tricking fucking countries and half the fucking world and shit like that. This 18, 19, 20-year-old got fucking fooled too. Now they're the fucking assholes for falling for it. You guys fell for it too to elect these motherfuckers.
I mean, it's kind of a weird situation because I'll say this, for example. Me and my wife started this game a couple years ago where we'd find a brand, right? And then we would try to go I'm sorry, I don't know what the fuck is going on out there.
I got 2 kids within 15 feet of this microphone. We hadn't heard shit from them. You got a pack of naked living in your house.
Dude, that's a black guy back there doing all that noise for no reason.
Worse, even worse. Carry on.
But I was saying, we played this game a couple years ago where it was like, look, let's find a brand. If you see a brand, we would try to backtrack that brand as far as we could and see who owns the brand. And then we started noticing, like, a lot of these companies own their competitor. If you go all the way back to most of these companies, they own the competitor. Like, I think it was, I might be misquoted. Either Advil and Excedrin or Advil and Tylenol are from the same company. I can't remember. But it was one of those things where I was like, wait, that's the brand that competes with that brand. But they're from the same company. So what the fuck isn't a... And it got to the point where the further up the food chain you went, the harder and harder it was to separate the companies. To the point where we firmly believe right now that, and I challenge anyone to disprove us, at the top of the pecking order, there is one company that owns all these other companies. Like Pfizer owns so much shit that competes with itself under the brand name Pfizer. So the CEO of Pfizer is making money anyways because whatever freaking competition they're selling is the same thing. Now this links up to this topic because I remember when I first discovered, and this is about a year ago, I discovered Dick Cheney was a part co-owner of the company that makes MREs, meals ready to eat for the military. Which to me was like, that kind of sounds like a conflict of interest. This is a guy who has a legitimate ability to send a country to war, and he is physically invested in a company that only benefits from war. You know what I mean? So it's like, if I'm Dick Cheney and I'm part owner of a company that does that, why wouldn't I push for war or a little war here or there? I'd want my company to make some money. Now you add that to all the other shit, the fact that he's a former vice president of Halliburton who gave him $1 million when he left to become vice president. Ironically, Halliburton is an energy company and the vice president tends to be the one that decides the energy policies. How fucking crazy is that? And I'm an idiot. So to me, to notice these things and realize there are much smarter people following these things a lot closely, literally letting this shit happen. It's been a rigged game for so long that I think they've perfected the way to make sure that the only people that ever get yelled at for the fucked up shit they do are never the people that do it. It's kind of like at my store. When people come in and they get mad because a product is missing, I'll watch them yell at a cashier. Like straight up go into a tirade at the cashier who they know has no control over this shit. None. That information will never, at the highest it'll get to the store manager, but it'll never get to the warehouse who actually have a chance of fixing this, and hell, it'll never get to corporate which actually has a chance of fixing the shit. That news never gets there unless it's literally getting close to a lawsuit. And all these companies are the same. For example, do you guys know what McDonald's is, right?
No, what's that?
No, never heard of it.
How about Wendy's? Never heard of that either?
Never heard of it either.
Yeah. How about Burger King?
Nope.
These are all a fantastic bunch of companies that you guys have never heard of. Can any of you guys name any of the CEOs to any of those companies or whoever's in charge in those companies?
Yeah, Ronald McDonald.
Yeah, that guy. For a guy who doesn't know McDonald, you're well aware. But same thing, Walmart. Who's in charge of Walmart? Same. And it's hilarious. Prices are, yeah, they're definitely low. And it's funny because you look at this whole thing and the system just seems rigged to fuck the person on the bottom all the time. And we're smart enough now that we know it, but for some reason we're still cool with it. And the same thing with this whole military argument. When people start getting at it about, like, when people get mad because they're like baby killers and stuff, it's like, they're well aware we're not the ones who fucking, decide to go to war. It's the politicians they vote in that do it. And they're well aware that the politicians lie. I mean, every single person I know, I'm like, whenever people come at me about the fact I don't vote, they go, why do you, what's up? You got it. I can't see what that says. Hold on a second, let me. Stupid. But it's to the point where that's not true, folks. Our Laura said to say that's not true. That's a joke.
I'm sweating.
But it's to the point where I don't know, man. I just feel like anybody should be able to say whatever they want to say with equal consequence, but I don't think you should be penalized for not believing in the troops. If you don't support the troops, I don't think you should be penalized for it. Personally, do I think there's something wrong with that mentality? Yeah. Would I want to educate you? Absolutely. But I absolutely think it should be fair for anybody to stand up and say, I don't believe in the troops. I don't want the troops. I don't care for a military organization. Because they have a point. They have a legitimate point. Anybody who hangs on rhetoric or nostalgia is super suspect to me. Like, whenever I talk to someone and they say the phrase, the good old days, I immediately don't trust anything coming out of your mouth next. Never. Because I'm like, anybody who says the good old days, 9 times out of 10 their skin is very white.
Fair enough.
You can't even claim it, dude. You got a little bit of, you got a little Arab money in your blood. You could just pretend well.
In the beard, man.
That beard sells you out very quickly.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with this shit. I'm going to a barber who'll shave up that beard. Ask him, what the fuck should I do with this shit, man? See what it is.
Alright, but anyway, letting that topic go, let's go to the one we actually wanted to get to. And I know Mr. Cole Conscience has been eagerly waiting for this.
Yeah.
Now, I personally wouldn't mind it if Slow Chemicals started off on this topic.
Yeah.
And the question is there a difference between dating girls of different races?
Yeah. Like a common difference. Like all Mexican, or a lot of Mexican girls do this, a lot of black girls do this. You know?
Sounds like a bad old school joke.
Mr. Chemical. What do you have to say about that?
Is he here?
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear.
Yeah, there's a difference. Yeah, now that I've broken some of the Da Vinci codes of the other cultures, there's a difference. I mean, it really just, yeah, they're different. At first I thought like at first I was just like everybody else. It's all the same. Pussy is pussy. No, it's not. No. There's some bad pussy out there, and there's some fantastic pussy out there, my friends. And some of the bad pussy, I will educate you on. Now, I have recently, as some of you know, broken into the wonderful world of Indians, which I was told to never go into. My friends, that is a lie, my friends. You need to break into that world because it is fantastic. And they serve everything on a platter to you, including their vagina.
I like that that's the last thing on the platter.
Oh, yeah.
Everything else first.
You can get Showtime, you can get Slurpees, you can get Snickers bars, whatever the fuck you want, including their vagina on a silver platter. But there's downfalls. There's downfalls to everything though, because let's say if you strictly go for black women, well, you have the light-skinned women that think they're the shit, and Dave knows what I'm talking about because he's a light-skinned diva himself. So you go from light-skinned women who think they're the shit to dark-skinned women who don't have much confidence because they're dark-skinned, they've been made fun of their whole life. You got to deal with that whole thing. You go to white women, you have blondes that are pretty stupid. You have brunettes that are magnet blondes. You have redheads who are very unique breeds, especially if they're real redheads and everything on them is red. That's fantastic. I can go on and on, but it's this difference, and there's also the stereotypes that you hear. They're there for a reason because I've experienced almost all of them, and it really just depends on what you can put up with. See, Cole Conscious, I don't think he's broken out of the world of black women yet. Am I correct?
No.
So much sadness in that, yo.
To be saying that, my advice to you is, the one thing I was told when I was younger, I think I told you a few weeks ago, your penis has to be praised. Don't just go around doing shit willy-nilly. If you get the opportunity to explore, I've had some Greek chicks as well. You need to explore. Now, if you have in your heart, if you have in your mind that a woman is not going to be very good, don't waste your time. If it's always in you before, don't waste your time. Just run away.
Right.
But you know, it's not all the same. And anybody that says it's all the same, I'm gonna tell you like this: it's all the same to them because they have the same type of woman. They have the type of woman that only stays there a missionary. They don't want to do anything else. You can't touch their hair while you're fucking them. Can't smack them around. Like, that's their problem. They get the same kind of woman. And these other guys that sit here and get these dime pieces, they're not dime pieces. They're bougie bitches that want your money and they are not getting bed and they're probably not wet. They're fucking dry. So any guy that sits there and tells you that different cultures are not fantastic, they're full of shit.
Yeah, if you ever had dry vagina, it's like fucking jacking off of sandpaper. It's terrible.
Oh, no, dude, it's fucking worse. And, like, especially it's worse when a girl tells you how that she's the best thing ever. Like, you can do so many things with her vagina, and once you try to put it in, like, it scrapes the tip of your penis. You're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, it's pretty fucking terrible. Like, I could fucking stay home. You had me going through all this bullshit for this dry piece of shit.
Oh, yeah, Then they're the type of girl that when they're dry, they want you to go forever because they can't get off. It's like, bitch, you can't fucking hurt.
And then
you
know, some crazy girls have the nerve to be like, well, maybe it's something that you doing. Listen here, motherfucker. There's nothing that I'm doing. It's just that your vagina just dried up. That shit is like somebody took a sponge and just dried that shit up beforehand.
I'm doing the same thing I practiced in the mirror 3 hours ago. What are you talking about?
Jesus Christ, these bitches. Wow.
And then on top of that, they're the same bitches that want you to sit there, lick their vagina. You gotta do all the fucking work. They do nothing but lay there and like move and give you like a little moan here or there. Bitch, I'm working. Give me something else. What the fuck?
No, I'm working, motherfucker. No, I'm working, bitches.
No. So you stay away from them bitches. No.
Yeah, I hate it. A girl just stiff, is just dead. It's just like, why are you here? Like fucking a pillow. It's just fucking.
No, I think.
Mr. Calhoun, I'm pretty sure you. Let me update you real quick on what we're doing. We're talking about if there's a difference between dating different races.
I wouldn't know. I date these same. Yeah.
Wait, is your girl right there? You just gotta tell us, dog. It's cool.
Yeah, give us the wink. Torture. I don't know. 24 years in Baltimore, I've only been exposed to the same black vagina. You know.
Blink twice if you're being held hostage. Man, life is rough. Man.
I've never had white vagina. I had organic vagina.
Antarctic vagina, Greenland Iceland vagina. I haven't had any of it.
I really want you to keep talking because I keep waiting for like a fist to come out the side of the screen slow motion.
Hey, listen. Here's what you gotta do, right? What you gotta do, right? Tell her to get damn back. I just tell her. You know, I'm not scared of her. Unplug the thing so I can talk to her. I want to talk to her directly.
The war!
Ray Rice going through some tumultuous shit. Y'all trying to catch on his bandwagon and shit.
I just got into a Ray Rice talk the other day. Anyway, Mr. Alone in the Dark then. Variety?
Look, see, I've been with, I was trying to think while he was talking, but I started laughing too much. I think my wife is the first, Middle Eastern type of women I was with, which I think they have a whole lot of similarities with Indians. Like, people don't want to, or especially between Pakis and Indians, for some reason they don't really like each other. Those are kind of warring fucking tribes right there. But they rip so much shit off each other, it's hard to fucking tell the difference, Like, my wife will be like, I think she's Paki, oh no, she's Indian, they can't even fucking tell themselves, but they still dislike each other, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of like Mexicans and like Puerto Ricans. It's hard to fucking tell y'all all speak Spanish to me, motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's all fucking, all that shit got rrr in it, so I mean it's all fucking ridiculous to me. I mean, between that and fucking like all Asians, like if you call a Catan person fucking Japanese, they get mad. Like, motherfucker, it's not racist if you all fucking look alike.
Here's the funny part about that.
You got the motherfuckers from the Philippines, like, I'm Filipino. Nigga, still in Asia.
Motherfucker, y'all frying rice to me. God damn it.
Hold on a second. You want to know what's funny part? The flip side of that is true, too. Just 2 days ago, a Chinese family came to my store. Now, I see a lot of, like, Japanese and Chinese, so now I'm getting really good at calling it once I see it. So the girl came in, right? And I only know, like, 2 words in Chinese, and I used one of them. And she's like, how you know I'm Chinese? And I go, I could tell the difference between the two of you. But she looked at me like I was a racist, even though I was right. I didn't understand.
You damned if you do and you damned if you don't.
Exactly. That's what I meant to tell him. Like, if you get it wrong, they'll get at you. If you get it right, they'll still look at you suspect.
Hey, look. It don't matter how the fuck they look at me. They better fry my fucking rice when I go to the store. That's all I need.
Let me tell you bad news, my friend. That's all Mexican, so.
It's all Mexican fried food? Hey.
You know better than anybody. You go in the back of them chicken joints, it's all Mexicans.
Yeah, it is. Hey, look, they fry shit out some chicken though.
God damn it, yeah, they do.
They fry. I mean, it's funny though. They keep all the fucking Mexicans in the back. I went to the pizza place, and isn't that like all these fucking white people? They just out. How you doing and shit like that. And you look in the back, that door swing open. Mexicans, they working in that motherfucker like. Fucking.
like that door opens for an inch, and like a fucking tamale flies out. Some dude.
Yeah, fucking Mexicans just back there.
Hella hats, children fucking making tortillas and shit.
I've seen about 3 of Noemi cousins in that motherfucker.
It
had to be.
No. Y'all laugh. Here's the honest to God truth.
Where we got more kids on the end, then it's probably, yeah.
Honest to God truth. Where I live, we have about 20 restaurants around this area. And at least 15 of them, she's got a family member. I wish it was a lie. It's so true. But food is so free.
I was about to say discount.
So, is it racist?
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with racism this time.
Wait, time out. Is it racist if it's true? I mean,
Technically, yeah, because you're not supposed to.
I mean, like when I say Mexicans, red beans and rice, is that really fucking wrong? It's true, right?
Technically,
the truth is the most racist thing of all, man. Let's go understand.
I mean, let's be honest. All Asian people look alike. I mean, is that really racist?
Okay, here's the funny part about it.
Black people usually are fucking late to events. Is that okay? My bad. Not black people.
But it's you feel that way. But I actually know European white people who feel like all black people look alike too.
Sometimes you might think be Ray Ray and it don't be Ray Ray.
Yeah, and let's be honest, man. Have you gone to a white party with all them skinny broads? They all look alike.
They do.
Those bitches look alike to us too. Don't take it. A white girl, brown boots, fucking that's it.
I mean, sometimes
But see, there's a lot of situations where you think Ray Ray is actually Ray Ray. There's a lot more situations where you think Chong is Chong, and then sometimes it actually is Chong.
Yeah.
I'll say this, man. I've never been so happy about accessories, man. Because it makes people easy to recognize. I just memorize people by their accessories now, man. Like cell phone cases, ever since those things got really individualized, saved my life so many times, man.
See, you obviously give a lot of fucks. I don't. I just be like, hey, what's your name? Who? Oh, okay. I probably will remember when I see you next time, but alright. Fair enough.
And still don't.
Still don't. Never will, never have, never will. Established in 1993.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. You know how I can tell the difference in a white woman? I can tell a white woman is trying to be black when she's sucking my dick and she don't care if I like it or not. Now, a white woman is white when she stops in the middle of sucking your dick and says, "Do you like it, baby?" And then begins speaking again. That's a true white woman right there, baby.
We're never getting on network cable. We're never getting on network cable.
I mean,
that's not gonna happen.
That sounds about right. You know, I feel like white women treat their guys a lot better than fucking black women, because black women just suck that shit like it's like the end of the world to them. They look at that shit like the fucking like they suck hard enough the world gonna fucking explode. It's like you ever fucking like try to feed a dog some bullshit in their face. That's what the fuck they look like. Look at that shit. They should be like. and you try so hard, and you like push their head down. And you try so hard, they will clamp their fucking mouth. Look,
I gotta be honest with you, Cold Conscience. I think you might have raped somebody and you don't know it.
It's like, god damn, like that fucking lips starting to bleed, fucking closing that mouth so fucking hard. It's ridiculous. Oh man. I mean, you say a closed mouth don't get fed. I said a closed mouth don't give head. That's what it is. Jesus Christ. I stole that line from Joe Button, but that's true shit though.
Look at the time. Look at the time.
Like whole time about you know what it looks like? It looks like fucking Kane's old mask when you try to push your head down. I have no mouth right there. That's what that shit looks like. It's so fucking terrible.
Stop!
Here's what it looks like.
Is that...
That's exactly how it looks. And they give it that look, and like they keep one eye open. They're like, I gotta make sure. And they won't suck too hard because they think you're gonna fucking come in there and fucking, which you probably are. But it's just like it's the funniest shit ever.
They should know though. Like if you're gonna suck it like that out of spite, I'm not gonna tell you when I'm about to come. Cause like, look
at that shit. It's fucking ridiculous, man. It's like the world, man. The world is like.
Question, yo. That wasn't even the question.
Does it matter?
Is there an actual difference between the two, yo?
Yeah, that's the natural. That's the fucking natural difference. A white girl would just do that shit. You don't gotta ask. You probably don't gotta ask the fucking white girl. They just do that shit. A black girl, you gotta fucking ask and console and shit like that. Like, listen, here's my thing. I know it might be your first time, but just come on. And then they give the fucking excuse that I don't do this for everybody.
I will say this. I've never heard a black girl say this, but I've heard a bunch of white girls say this. I love sucking dick.
Yeah.
I've never heard a black girl actually say those words, but I've heard a ton of white girls say it.
Yeah, they said I feel like they would fucking tell you. A black girl is like, yo, Jesus Christ, man.
Oh no, white girls, if they're a real white girl, they don't want their pussy eaten. They just want to get on their knees, suck your dick, and then right before you come, they're gonna ask, where do you want it? In my mouth, in my vagina, in my asshole,
In the fish bowl.
They're gonna ask you where exactly you want it. They'll put it where you want to put it. Yeah.
Really?
My man. He's like, God, he's like, come on, man, come on.
I feel like if your girl knew what we're talking about right now.
Man, and then you know the best thing is like when you ask a black girl like, do you give head? They're like, do I like a girl that gives head? I'm like, what the fuck does that look like? Like you just walking around with your mouth open?
You have yourself a good day, madam.
Like, come on, man.
Alright, so hold on. We've tackled white, we've tackled black, obviously. We've tackled Latino, we've tackled freaking Indian. Has anybody had Asian?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Oh snap! Here you go. Please educate.
Here's the funny thing with Asians, man.
Hold on. Tentacles? All tentacles? Is that all they take?
Every Asian, which I've been with a couple, because in the Bay Area, it is like 40% Asian people, man. It is a huge amount of Asian population.
Mm-hmm.
Every Asian girl was with, which is really weird, because you meet with them, they're freaking, got real light features, very little freaking hair. I mean, no hair on their face, which if you're dating Indian girls, they got to take care of that shit.
Oh, yeah.
They got their fucking, shit quattro that they're fucking dealing with, okay? But Asian women don't, man. There's like no hair on their arms, no hair on their face, not even a hint of it, right until you take off their fucking head.
I seen it coming. I was gonna ask you about it.
Would you be quiet? He's about to make a very important point. I want to learn. Go ahead.
The first time I had an Asian girlfriend, right? I reached down her pants. We were like in a car somewhere, and my finger got stuck. Got a fucking Chinese finger trap down there or some shit like that. Which is what I thought. I didn't say that shit, but it was funny, and I thought about that shit later. But she was ridiculous. But another thing is, whenever you're freaking banging them, it is almost always they're acting like you're fucking attacking them, man. Like
I was just about to ask.
It's so fucking weird, dude. Like they're obviously too much. Like I've had girls moan a lot, obviously doing the little porn star voices. These girls don't fucking do that, man. It seriously sounds like you're fucking attacking them. I don't know if in fucking China most freaking procreation is done by rape, like it is in Cameroon.
Here's the weird part about it, man. You're not the first person I've heard mention something along those lines. And from all the porns I've seen, it's true.
I just heard hairy.
It seems like it's like a genetic thing that they all sound like they're not enjoying what you're doing.
It's kind of hard to fucking watch because it's like I'm looking at this shit and like my shit just gets soft. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? It just sounded like they made a text like.
You know what is changing now though? Which I mean, it seems like it's been such a short time. I'm not that fucking old, but you're starting to get Asian women who have a lot more curves to their body than they did back when I was dating. I mean, when I was dating those girls, it was actually almost pretty. You get them naked and it'd be like you're almost looking like you're looking at a 10-year-old boy here, just like that. Now you're starting to see them with tits, we're starting to see them with asses. It's just looking beautiful. Now I don't know what those girls are doing different, but I fucking approve.
Well, because they're fucking, their parents are, their mother is fucking a black guy nowadays. So.
Now, for anybody who don't know and want a description of that situation he's talking about, Asa Akira is her name, and having curves is her goddamn game. That girl is great, but that's a whole other thing. Whole other
story. But I mean, these girls were wearing bras as a fucking joke, and that's another thing about dating Asian girls. When you're getting ready to fuck, you have about 18 layers of clothes you're gonna have to get through to fuck this bitch. I mean, this bitch got a scarf on, got a fucking shirt, a jacket on, got a fucking overshirt, an undershirt. You got your
I can just
All the clothes.
I can just imagine that, like, you take a shirt off and then you're gonna see some titties, just like another shirt.
Yeah.
Fucking one more, just like a fucking
That's so
alarm
funny,
system and
man.
shit. Like,
The deeper you're going, the flatter her chest is getting, and it was flat in the beginning.
It's like with every article of clothing you take off, it's like the load screen comes on and then another one just appears. Like,
yeah, I can just imagine, like, fucking unwrapping shit on Christmas, just like, oh lord, just like she got put in a fucking code to get to her vagina. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just imagine.
I'll
Are
tell
they
you-
slanted?
They what?
What?
Are they slanted?
That was one of the first things I checked when I was a girl. No, they're not. But they're always smaller in the right area. you are getting the one fucking thing from them, and that's you're gonna have a good fucking time there. They might not have no titties and no ass, but they got a grip. Is what I'm trying to say.
And they give you a nice back massage after.
You know,
Wash your clothes.
and I don't know if it's because I think black women are different with a white guy. I can't really prove that or not, considering I've never dated a black girl as a black man. But one issue I always had dating black women is they would always want to take control of fucking everything. Like, there would be an argument I'd get into, and they would come forward like they were my fucking bodyguard. You know? Like, no, leave the white boy out of this shit. What are you fucking yelling about? What the fuck
Yeah.
is going on, woman? Like, it was a power struggle with a black woman, you know?
Until they get that fucking Street Fighter uppercut, how do you can? And then they want to act, you know, sane. Then they want to get the fuck out of the way after that.
The fucking bus driver special.
Yeah, oh my lord, that had to be the funniest shit I ever seen. We have never discussed that on this show. That had to be, for everybody out there, I'm not really, that had to be the most ignorant, funniest shit ever I've seen in fucking, like, he uppercutted the shit out that girl.
Man, it was terrible, man.
He hit her so bad, I thought he smacked her. That's a hard hitter.
Oh, by the way,
If you see
since we're on
that,
the
he
topic,
pulled that one from his feet and came up and hit her.
since we're on the topic of
The power.
Jesus.
since we're on the topic of hitting women, real quick before we start wrapping things up, quick
Ray Rizzle? She deserved it.
This isn't directed at you alone in the dark, but if you know what we're talking about, you can chime in. This is to Slow Chemical Co-Conscience and Mr. Calhoun. You guys heard about what happened to who co-hosts with Skip Bayless?
Stephen A. Smith.
Okay, Stephen A. Smith. For those that don't know, Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless are on a show. What
It's
is
the
it?
realest motherfucker out there.
That the name of the show?
First Take on ESPN.
Yeah. They're on a very famous show, First Take on ESPN, and they usually take on controversial sports news touchy subjects. And Skip Bayless is white and ignorant, and Stephen A. Smith is black and ignorant. So it works fantastically. But recently, Stephen A. Smith has been suspended from the show because Stephen A. Smith, I guess, was defending Ray Rice.
He wasn't.
Okay. So why was he suspended?
He was suspended off of ESPN because a lot of people.
Actually, before you go there, explain to them what happened with Ray Rice.
Come on now. If you've been living under a rock for like the past 3 or 4 months, Ray Rice assaulted his wife in an elevator.
Assaulted is a mild term. He smacked her.
Never saw it. All they saw was her corpse, I would assume, because I never saw her awake. Being
He
dragged out of the elevator.
allegedly assaulted his wife in an elevator. Now, moving on for you ignorant assholes.
Hey, listen, as soon as he break 80 yards, you know.
Last Monday on First Take, Stephen A. Smith tried to explain that he wasn't trying to take up for Ray Rice, but he was saying that yes, domestic violence is wrong. However, females need to do their part to not provoke domestic violence to happen. Now, I can kind of see how people can take that the wrong way, but people took it extremely the wrong way. We all knew full well what what Stephen A. Smith was trying to say, and he was trying to say exactly this: if you hit on your man, if you hit any man, you have two things that may happen to you. One, you might find yourself in a situation where you're hitting up against somebody that's like Jay-Z who's not going to hit you back. Or you might find yourself in an elevator with no other security guard with Ray Rice, and he's going to hit your ass back. That's what Stephen A. Smith was trying to say. But everybody took it as if Stephen A. Smith was like, oh, nah, I'm a woman. And he's telling me that I got to tread lightly, I got to walk around, do everything my man tells me. No. You knew full well what this motherfucker was trying to say.
I mean, I think the issue is he didn't limit it to hitting. You know, he just said, don't do something. I mean, the way it came across, like I didn't watch the whole thing. Part of the video, I understood what he was saying, but the way it came across was, don't provoke your man because you might get an ass whooping, bitch.
Which is true.
Yeah, but I don't know if, I mean, should a woman just regulate how the fuck she's gonna act around her husband? So
no, because
she should not get divorced, of course, but
it all depends on what type of man you have. Now, if you got a man that's known for bashing up against women, but you're too stubborn to leave his ass, then yeah, you're gonna have to do everything you have to do to not provoke him to beat your ass. But if you're with a man who's like Jay-Z, who's not gonna hit a woman,
here's what I think. I think the better thing is women, if you think that you could provoke your man and he's gonna beat the shit out of you, get the fuck out of there, bitch. Run, bitch.
And that's exactly what Stephen A. Smith was saying, pretty much.
But here's the thing. Some of those women want that. For example, here's a fantastic conversation I caught myself getting into. Me attacking people because they weren't attacking Solange. Because I was like, if that had been a guy who'd done that same thing, you guys would be up at arms. Freaking Skip Bayless just said what he said, and he's freaking suspended. But you guys have Solange clearly swinging at this guy, and nobody said anything negative about Solange.
Exactly.
So it comes up to like,
people talking about like, what did Jay-Z do? I think he was cheating on Beyonce. He says that's why she did it. No, you don't get to do that.
Shouldn't matter. And I think you and I, Alone in the Dark, we've had this conversation before, where it's kind of like, all right, how equal are we really? Are we going to get? How equal are we going to get? Because, all right, I get it. I'll lift this item here because it's heavier. And I'm a man and I'm just physically bigger. I understand that, right?
Right.
But do you get to hit me because I'm physically bigger and you can't really hurt me?
Or drag you
Does it matter? So, I mean,
first of all, this is exclusive footage. Exclusive photo of Ray Rice and his wife inside the elevator. Exclusive. And nobody has this shit but me.
This is so small.
Fucking exclusive. But
oh God,
you will have a lot of women, and like we had this conversation before, and as Renee said when she was on the show, that a lot of women will try to bait you, especially somebody like Jay-Z, who has a lot to lose if he hits Solange. He hits Solange, fucking gets that money and tries to get her career off the ground because Lord knows it's done. It's fucking. And when it ever starts, beyond me. But you gonna have, of course, she's hitting him, and as soon as Jay-Z would have wound up and hit Solange, she would have got a pretty decent payday out of that shit.
Yeah,
most definitely.
That's a good question. Is though the way she was swinging and as powerful as she was swinging, would it have been wrong if Jay-Z swung back?
I wouldn't blame her, especially if she hit him in the nuts. You know, if you I talked about this before. There was a video of some fucking two guys in the subway, and it's this old man, old Asian dude sitting next to this fucking young buck. And apparently what had happened before the video started is the old man had a fucking newspaper open, and the young guy was trying to work on his iPad and apparently asked him to move it. The dude didn't fucking do it, so finally he pushed the newspaper out of his way, and that's what started them getting their fucking argument. Well, while they're fucking arguing, the old man reaches over and hits the freaking young dude in the face. Young dude gets up and he's putting this freaking iPad away like he had a bag with him. putting that shit away, which I give him credit, make sure that shit didn't get busted. As he's doing that, that old man gets up and tries to punch him in the nuts twice. Okay? That fucking young dude finally gets that shit in protective custody there, turns around and wails on that fucking old man. Beats him into the thing. I think kicked him across the side of the head, too. It was fucking nasty. At the end of the video, that old man looked like he was knocked out laying across the fucking thing. And people are throwing a fit about, that could have killed that old man. You can't be swinging on an old guy like that. And I said on there, if you go to hit a man's nuts, it is up to you to understand if you could survive the fucking beat.
All I'm saying is UFC fighters are trained fighters, and they get unlimited stoppage to decide whether their nuts are okay after a groin shot.
Exactly.
Them motherfuckers can't take it.
So don't give me that shit that this old man's such a fucking victim. If you trying to hit somebody in the nuts, you're in a fight. That's it. That's what you got to fucking figure.
Between that and spitting on somebody, I think, and that's what everybody said that happened with Ray Rice and his fiance, is that she spit on him. And I guess that's just probably like an immediate reaction just to fucking hit somebody who you know, that's probably one of the most disgusting things you could do. And I'm not sure if disgusting is a word, but I made the shit up.
It isn't, but it's all good.
So, if my wife spit on me, I tell you, it would be pretty fucking hard not to wail. I probably wouldn't do it just because I didn't want to go to jail. I know it would be me, but I would have to walk the fuck out of the house. I'd have to get
I got
I had to get some air.
Where was the outrage when China was beating the hell out of X-Pac?
Yeah.
Where was the outrage when Gary Coleman's wife was beating the hell out of him?
To be fair, though, whenever a midget gets beat up, that's pretty fucking funny.
How dare you, sir? That's a national treasure.
Toss him around and shit, you know. Get back on the bed, you motherfucker. Stay up there.
Jay-Z's 100 problem.
Jay-Z's 100.
They had one kicker, Street Fighter.
Singer, songwriter, model, actress, kicker, Street Fighter, Jay-Z's 100th problem. Then vocals, keyboard, and percussion. Because that's how low her vocals, keyboard, and percussion fall on that list.
Exactly.
Oh, shit, that's too funny.
Who knew she played fucking keyboard? That's news to me. God damn. I ain't the biggest musician in the world, but fuck. The fuck is she doing in her life? How the hell are you Beyonce's sister and you ain't got no fucking album? You ain't got no album that anybody really wants to fucking listen to?
You don't need to. You're Beyonce's sister, man.
She's Beyonce's sister and she's not pretty. You know, that's my question. Like
that. I mean, no, she used to look fucking good. Look at Johnson's Family Vacation. If I can fucking find this bitch.
Yeah, she was good. She looked good.
I'm not
sure.
sure.
Family Vacation when she did extensions.
Yeah, like she got hit with a fucking sack of nickels. I don't know what the fuck happened to the bitch. Oh my lord, it's fucking ridiculous. I'm like, wait, I didn't know who the fuck Solange. I'm like, who the fuck is Solange?
You love these money.
It was like Beyonce's sister. I'm like, oh, that bitch? God damn, she looks rough. She like she been through some shit.
All right, guys, let's wrap this up.
Here's how she used to look. Hold on, let me try to fucking. Hold up, I'm confused. Let me try to get this shit and zoom in.
Yeah, I was about to say that's a lot of forehead you just put up there.
Yeah,
all right.
ugly in that too.
There you go.
I mean, she looks a lot like Beyonce in that shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that.
I mean, she looks. Not better than Beyonce, but she looks more like Beyonce than the picture that she has now. She looks like she fucking needs to be begging for change and shit now.
Goddamn. All right. Let's wrap this up, guys. Let's hit up these parting shots before somebody says something terrible. All right. So
George Bush doesn't like black people.
Great, we're in the hole now. Cold Conscience, you want to go first?
Yeah. You guys, Slow Chemical and John Esther, have a new EP out. Hey, somebody little kid was in the back. Alone adult. But you guys have a new EP out. And it's called The Bang Before. I shouldn't plug shit on. What's it called?
The Bang Before the Theory 2.
The Bang Before the Theory 2. Now on iTunes. So
and Google Play.
On Google Play. So if you're watching this,
playlist,
go listen to it. We are a bunch of talented artists, and our fucking EP will be out in October. We don't have a date yet, But Dare Disagree EP would be out in October, so just keep an eye out for that. We'll keep you updated.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Calhoun, parting shots.
I forgot.
Sorry, man. You just gotta tell us that she's closer. That's all you gotta say. You ain't got a lot to kick it.
Fuck y'all.
Is that Solange in the background? I mean, your name is Jay, and I see the sweat trickling from your head. Are you in the elevator right now? Oh, you in the elevator? He's trying so hard not to laugh.
Man.
Boy, I tell you, you trying hard not to laugh, boy. If you struggle,
you know what I'm thinking? I'm starting to feel like his girl might have unplugged the headphones and she's listening the whole time, and he just kept that shit on to make us feel good.
Boy, if you struggle any harder not to smile, your lips gonna bleed.
Alright, Mr. Slow Chemical, any parting shots?
I'm gonna go last because mine's a little long.
Alright. And Mr. Alone in the Dark?
Before any fucking operators come to my house to whoop my ass for what I said, I just want to reiterate that I think fucking Chris Kyle is a motherfucking hero, okay? Fucking man's man, and maybe he just punched the shit out of some other ugly-looking fucking giant and thought it was Jesse Ventura, okay? So I just want to throw that shit out there before I got fucking SEAL Team 6 kicking my fucking door down, beating the shit out of it.
Alright. Alright,
Trust
Mr.
me,
Slow
if
Chemical.
them still Team 6, you'll be dead already.
Go ahead, Slow Chemical.
Yeah, so a couple weeks ago, I went to Maryland to finish the EP with Cold Conscience, and I come back to Atlanta, and my brother, he texted me. He was like, "Hey," he's talking about a couple girls that were like that I haven't talked to in years. I mean, at least 3 or 4 years, right? And I was telling Cold Conscience story the other day, and I'm a little pissed off about it. Let me tell you bitches something, right? All right. Now, if you decide to choose another motherfucker over me, that's fine. But don't have 5 kids with the bastard. They try to come back and get my dick. First of all, it's been corrupt. Your pussy has been corrupted. I will never fuck you. I will never touch you. I will never let any. I wouldn't let AIDS-infested penis touch you now. So don't think you're gonna come back to me after you chose somebody over me. By the way, I'm the fucking shit, and I wouldn't have got you fucking pregnant, you dumb bitch. Don't do that. Don't try to send messages through my family. And I swear to God, if a motherfucker give my number out, I'm gonna blow their house the fuck up. I'm done.
Allegedly.
Right. You letting your Muslim shine, man. You really need to cool it.
Allah Akbar.
Looking real Arabic from the neck up right now.
Jesus, blow that house up. You know, so crazy when he was talking to me, it was just like I will beat the shit out of you. Apparently, it moved up to blowing your house up.
You understand, man? That guy's been cooking with the anarchist cookbook. He ain't playing.
You got hit where it hurts, I guess, huh? War is necessary.
Well, no, it's not even that. The more and more I thought about it, the more and more egregious it got to me. And yes, that's a fucking word for you ignorant motherfuckers. I know what I'm using. So, it's one of those things where you made your decision, you had 3 or 4 kids, because here's the thing that gets me. One of the bitches, right, she chose somebody over me, but not because he looked better than me, not because he had a better personality, because he was into Jesus, supposedly, right? He was into Jesus, and he was like, gonna show her the light. Only thing he showed her was 5 kids and a bad job. Now she's stuck with 5 kids and his broke ass. Don't come to me. You're done. The dude was faking. All the time he's preaching, talking about Jesus, his ringtone is 50 Cent Mini-Men. How holy can the fucker be? Common sense, man. Common fucking sense.
For all the viewers out there, this is why his album was called Ex-Gentleman. And by the way, it's out. You know, if you guys want to check that shit out, it's available now. So
I was just about to tell him Marilyn Monroe, my friend. Marilyn Monroe is all.
Well, that's Even Gods Must Die, but his solo project, Ex-Gentleman. I'm just full of plugs today. That sounded pause on that. I ain't like that.
Smart pause. Alright, guys. This has been Dare to Disagree. I've been your host, Jonathan Esther.
It's Alone in the Dark out here in beautiful Colorado. I'm loving this fucking place.
Cold Conscious, Aberdeen, Maryland.
Aberdeen, you lucky bastard. Calhoun
No,
from
no, no, no,
Baltimore.
no, I'm stuck. I'm still stuck.
Oh, well. I was about to say, you made it out.
No, not yet. In due time. In due time.
Mr. Calhoun,
I already said it, motherfucker. Calhoun from Baltimore.
go ahead. All right, and that's been Dan Disagree. Tune in next week, guys. We'll do the same thing but worse or better.
We'll try to start on time. I